Hello everybody, I am Pam and this is my channel, Made by Pam. Sorry I'm late. I had it scheduled for 8 o'clock and Hi Miss Gigi. Welcome. I was eating breakfast with my daughter and then I just made it down here. And then I'm just trying to remember where I put my paint. Because I set it up. There it is. I set it up yesterday to make sure that my son would not get a hold of it. My 5-year-old. Because I don't want him messing with it. So today we are going to be painting the number 3s on my picture here. The number 23s are like these small spots here, but there are like some big areas down here that I'm going to be painting. I'm going to go ahead and move the camera down and so you can watch but I do still need to open my package back up because I put stuff away because I was busy yesterday doing other things too. So I guess number 23 is going to be a lot more paint used than some of the other ones. And I will keep out my 1, 2, 3, and 4 just in case I do find areas. That's if I can even get it out. I'm going to need a new bag out. Move that aside. But store those just in case I need them for later. And I appreciate everyone that's joining me. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to move you down in just a minute. But I am going to just going to read one message real quick. I'd asked Kathy Cal how her mom was doing because she's in the hospital. And they said that she's doing much better and she's going to have testing done. I'm going to go ahead and log into my video from my phone because then I can... Hi, Patty! Because then if I have it logged into my phone, I'll be able to see it as I'm painting. I'll be able to watch the chat. And thank you all so much for joining me. What stories can I tell today? I know. I kind of find it funny. I like to tell weird stories sometimes. So what else do you talk about? And so I've only done like the 1, 2, 3, 4s. And originally I thought about trying to go in order. But with all the small like 23 areas that were popping up, which apparently there is a lot of 23s because they provided me with 2 little canisters of paint 2 of these little like things of paint. So yeah. And I know I'm cutting into other video lives, like especially Anne's and Carol's, which is Touched by the Magical Touch, Carol TMT. They are doing a live right now, and Lar. And I was in there watching that. And then I said goodbye. Oh, I found another spot that I missed with the number 1. I'll make sure I don't color that section in. It's just a small little sliver. That's why I made sure I had those other paints out. It's because I want to make sure that you can see it. And I know this doesn't give you the whole a very good view of how it is with everything. Hi, Kathy. I was just talking about you. I had mentioned that I had to check your message as I was going live from Anne's channel to see how your mom was doing. I'm glad she's doing better. I am painting a frog picture by a paint by number. So today I am doing the number 23 spots, which apparently it is supposedly going to use up a lot of paint because they provided like 3 little canisters. And Gigi, it is hard to find a time where your friends are not streaming. It is so hard. Without stepping on toes. But the good thing though is that these videos you can go back and watch. If you can't stay the whole time, but you want to see the progress as it comes along, you can always go back and watch it. If you want to hear the strange stories that I tell. And I don't do a very good job staying in the lines. I'm not like a brilliant painter. The majority of painting that I've done in the past I just lost my train of thought because I was reading Kathy's message. Yeah, finding a time to do one. Yeah, early afternoons. are sometimes open. Okay, the issue I have is like in the afternoons by 2 o'clock, I have to start thinking about getting my kids from school. And then shortly after I get home from picking them up, Beth or Becca come on.
Who turned down the heater? Mama.
I did because it was roasting in there. You can't have it 100 degrees in there.
It's not 100 degrees. Like my room doesn't even contain heat that well.
Well, good thing you're home. 1 minute. I didn't think he was going to close my door. He's mad at me because I turned down the heater in his room because he had the space heater. Well, because the room doesn't have like its own, it doesn't have a heater vent in there from the rest of the house. So we use a space heater, but he had it like full blast all the way up. And so I turned it down so it wasn't going to be like super hot in there. But he has this hamster in there. So now he's mad at me because the heat was down. And he's afraid that it's going to make his hamster go into hibernation. And he's saying that his room doesn't keep that much heat. I know, maybe I should switch bedrooms with him. I'm just kidding. I would not do that. Though I could, though. Thing is that there's not much closet space in that room. And mine and my husband's clothes will not all fit in the closet in that bedroom. Because it's not meant for a whole bunch. Like when I was building the room. Yeah, you heard that. I did the room myself. Well, my husband helped. But we'd planned on it for years and years. Like when my 22-year-old was like in his teens. We had talked about converting and making that a bedroom. Of course, it didn't happen until our roof started flooding. Well, till our roof started leaking down there. Because the back part of the house is like an add-on in the 70s. So the stairs that come down to my room, originally when the house was built, you would go outside, go down the steps into the room. It's originally, how the houses out here were built. But in the 70s, they added onto the back, put in a laundry room, just outside that back door part, and enclosed it all, kind of like an enclosed porch type thing. But that's what makes up my family room. And it was a pretty decent sized family room, like 500 square feet. So when we had to redo the roof and put a new roof on, and we had to take all the old plywood off and stuff, because it probably hadn't been done since the 70s, I'm sure. Or maybe they had done it since then. I don't know. I don't know how old it was. I know it was pretty old. But it when we redid it, we stripped everything down. Like, so we had like the old popcorn ceilings. Yeah, that fabulous popcorn ceiling that they did in the 70s. It was great. I had a lot of those popcorn ceilings in this house. And we got rid of them all, over the years. So we pretty much gutted the whole family room area. So we took down the ceiling, we took off the roof, and then we took off all the walls. So we stripped all the walls and all the insulation. And so we put in new insulation in there and put new walls up, covered up a window. Well, we also covered up another window too, but we covered up the window that goes to my daughter's bedroom, because of that part of the house. It was the back part, so there was a window. Well, there was a window that kind of overlooked the family room. But we had it kind of covered up for years, but now when you look up there, you can't see that there was a window there, because that we covered it up. And we put up new insulation all down there, and put up new walls. And then we fixed the plumbing for the laundry room. So there was the old copper pipes. Well, I think there was an old galvanized pipe that went in there too, that went from the other part of the house. So it was routed through like the floor down underneath. And so I went down and went under there and put like the PEX pipe, so like the plastic piping, the flexible. So I went through and I put in the new piping for the floor. Well, underneath so I put in the new water piping for the laundry room. I need the smaller brush. But yeah. And if you hear all the background noise up there, my son and his cousin just came over. Well, my son came home. And while coming home, he brought his cousin with him, because he spent the night over at his cousin's house last night. And they're upstairs playing video games on the TV. But it's much better, than other things they could be doing. They could be fighting with their brother. Their brother's still asleep. But yeah. So when we move things around down there, because we used to have the computers and stuff in a different spot, and it was kind of limited to what they could do where we had them, because you could only put so much over there. So when we redid everything, we decided that the wall where the TV sits would also be the wall where all the computers sit. And it seems to work out pretty good. I have a wall full of computers for all my kids, which I know some would think that's excessive. But it's okay. Each their own. I'm cool with that. I'm just glad my kids know how to use a computer. Sometimes I think they're better at the computer than I am. Actually, you know what? I know that they're better at the computer than I am. They'll always be better. Like, my husband understands computers pretty good, even his brother. And I guess I would if I took the time to, fully understand it. But sometimes something doesn't quite work. Like when it's like that. And it's like, well, I guess I'll just do something else. So hopefully everyone is doing okay today. People are starting to wake up. I can hear them stomping upstairs. Oh, and these boys are so loud. I'm so sorry. Like I was telling a story yesterday about me going and getting some food after I picked up medication. before I had to go get my kids from school. Because I was telling the story, then I totally got sidetracked. Yep, I got sidetracked and started talking about something else because I picked up some a heat gun accessory kit from Harbor Freight. And then come to find out that the accessory kit didn't even fit the heat gun that I got. So Friday, I picked up the heat gun that the accessory kit actually fits. Now, I haven't used the accessory kit yet, but I did use one of the heat guns. It works pretty good. Just seeing that paint dry like instantly was quite nice. Because yesterday I let my daughter, my son was upstairs playing on the computer. But my daughter came down for a couple minutes and did craft time with Kelly and Joni. And so after they were done with their craft time, I had these 2 paint trays that were full of paint. I was like, what do I do with all this paint? I'm just not going to waste it. So I had a purpose for it. I used it on a little junk journal thing that I've been working on. Because I've been painting the... All right, Kathy. Enjoy your visit with your mom. Hopefully everything goes well. You take care. Our prayers are with you and your family at this time. So I used the extra paint that I had to paint the pages of that junk journal, junk book thing I'm doing. Because it's out of like circulars from that you get in the mail for the ads for the grocery stores and stuff. And so, yeah, that little project started. So I've been painting the pages. But I would usually only do 2 pages at a time because I'd have to let the paint dry. So I'd have to give it time to dry. And so getting the heat gun, I was able to use up all the excess paint, plus had to get a little bit extra paint too. But I was able to use up all that paint that was out. So it didn't go to waste. So it made good use of it. So many little 23s. That's why I'm doing 23s. That's because there's so much 23 area. And my painting kind of looks like a child maybe did it. I don't know. I don't stay in the lines the whole time. I guess lines are meant to be crossed, right? So Well, sometimes it would be nice to like have music or something going. I know that's not possible. And I haven't figured out the StreamYard aspect of it all. Like after I get off a stream with like I streamed with Joni yesterday with Joni's Not So Fast Life, and I streamed with Beth later on. With StreamYard. Because I just log on with. I just like get the link from them and log on. Like after those streams, I could go straight into like using StreamYard and streaming myself, like straight onto YouTube, I think. Because it's already pulled up and my camera wants to work. But when I try to pull it up on my own, yeah, it does need to be copy-free music. And that's the thing. I'd be playing it off of a CD or something, or off of my phone. And that doesn't quite work. And I know with StreamYard, they have some background music things that you could use for your videos, I guess. I haven't figured it all out because I haven't gotten StreamYard to work for me, like hosting it, per se. Like sometimes I'll try to use like the music, like when I'm doing like process videos, which that's what I mostly do. You know, I haven't like really like done live streamings a lot, but I've just started doing it this way. Because how long this picture takes to do, and I want to do it live. I want to do it on camera. I figure streaming it like this is better than recording it and then it's like, yeah. Because I'm sure I could like speed it up. Like do the painting and speed it up as I'm doing it. And have like little background music going to it as we're going. But it's hard sometimes. And some of the music that you would like hear and stuff that they do have like that you can use for YouTube and stuff. It gets old fast. But what I was saying yesterday about my son, because I got in the food, and I keep getting sidetracked. Like, I had the drink in my vehicle, okay? But I just got done eating lunch. And I was picking my kids up from school. And he says, "Can we go get a drink?" I'm like, "No, we're going home." He gets mad and he's like, "Well, it's unfair. You have a drink. How's it fair that you have a drink, but you're not even going to take us to get a drink?" It was kind of funny in a way. So I'm like, "Well, here. Then if you need a drink so bad, you can have my drink." Like, "I don't want your disgusting germs." It's just hilarious to me. And I'm like, "Well, the drink is only like 3 hours old. I'll share, but I'm not going to take you to get drinks." So he was mad at me. I didn't care. It really didn't matter that he was upset. Because he always thinks someone's picking on him. It's the way life is. I should have turned this to top into live chat. Oh. Hi, Teresa. How are you? Well, thank you for just stopping in. That's great. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for having me last night. I appreciate it. You have a good time at church. Well, my kids refuse to go to church. I've tried. And sometimes you just do what you can do. I'm not staying in the lines at all. I'm all over the place. And the good thing is this paint dries fairly quick. But then that does mean that it dries on the paintbrush fairly quick too. And hopefully you had a good time with your company last night, Teresa. Sorry about that sniffling. I actually need to blow my nose for a second. One moment. Well, that's good that they helped you put the bed together, Teresa. I'm glad you were able to get that done. I know it's hard losing a loved one. I personally haven't lost my spouse, thank goodness. I did lose a sister back in 2016. And it's still, hard sometimes. Her youngest is 10 now. He's the same age as my 10-year-old. And her oldest, trying to think, if you take 1997, and my son is 22, and he was born in 2000. So her daughter being born in 97, would be like 25. So her oldest. So it was hard losing her. You know, we didn't always talk like we should have. Didn't get together. Like, she got together with my other sister. And they talked and visited more. But for me, you know, I don't always talk to all my siblings. I don't have anything against them. Like, when we talk, we talk. Like, one of my sisters lives in, well, I guess she lives in Indiana now. She did live in Illinois for a couple years. And she lives in Chicago now. No, she lives in Indiana now, sorry. She lived by Chicago. But she lives in Indiana. So she lives about 3 hours away from where she used to live. Because she needed to change the scenery. And not only that, that Chicago area, oh my goodness. Housing prices are through the roof. It's crazy. Like here in Utah, oh my goodness. The cost and the charges. And I know it's everywhere. Like the housing market. But man. You lost everyone but your brother and your daughter. And then your mother and your husband recently, 3 months apart. Oh goodness, Teresa, that's so hard. I'm so sorry to hear that. Like when my sister passed away, she passed away in January of 2016. And then in August of 2016, my mom had a stroke. That was hard. But my mom's recovered. She still has deficits every once in a while with her speech. And stuff. But she's still here. She still functions. Functions a lot better than most people. She is older. Let's see. She was 29 when she had me. I know that because that's what my birth certificate says. I'm 44. I think she was born in 54. So I guess that makes her like 68. Is that right? 54. I can't add. Let's see. There's 72? Does that make her 72? 54? Huh. I don't know. Oh my. Time flies. I know my dad was born in, no, he's not that much older. He's a couple of years older than my mom. Maybe he was 32 when I was born. So he was born in 51. How do we jog my memory? Because my husband's parents, I think his mom or his dad was born in 48. I think. And then one was born in 42. But his dad also had a stroke a couple years ago, my husband's dad. Well, that was hard too. So his dad's stroke left him with mobility issues and maybe a little bit of speech issues. He's doing okay. He struggles. Like his parents are struggling with stuff, and I guess his mom is having, I guess, liver failure or kidney failure. And she really didn't want all of us to know that that's what was going on. She kind of wanted to keep it a secret. But they broke down and told my husband. So he's been worried about it a little bit. But he's doing okay, though. You know, it's just one of those things that happens with old age. Hi, Trey. How are you doing? You lost your grandmother to a stroke in Virginia 35 years ago? You okay, Trey? I'm just painting a picture. I'm doing a paint by number frog picture. This is my third session with many, many more to come. Today I am painting the number 23s, which there is apparently a lot of 23s and it covers a large space because they provided 2 little paint capsules of paint. So yeah. I'm sorry about the boys. Boys will be boys. They're teenagers. My son will be 13 in like 2 weeks. Well, on the 11th of November. He'll be 13. And then his cousin that is up there also making lots of noise. And this one almost has orange eyes. Gigi. This is a picture I have. I can't guarantee it will look exactly like that. Some of the lines will be a little, like, not all there where they should be, per se. Yeah, I like to share stories. Like, even if they do get a little emotional at times, you know, that's what life is, right? What life is a bunch of stories put together. Things that make us who we are. Like, when I was younger, oh, you have a daughter turning 12 the end of November? Yeah, those are fun times. Welcome to teenagerhood. Yeah. Sometimes I think it'd be nice to travel to the past. Even just to, like, change one little thing, one little outcome. Granted, that would, like, spiraling effect and change lots of things. Like, even if I was able to go back and talk to my sister one last time before she passed. Because me and my other sister, because we had just been to a funeral in Mississippi. Prior to my sister passing. And so when on our way back from that funeral, so you have a 21-year-old daughter, almost 19-year-old, a 15, a 13, and a 12. Those are some good ages, Gigi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 kids. That's good. I have 6. But yeah, so we took a detour and visited my one sister that lived in Chicago, that now lives in Indiana. We had stopped over and visited her, and we spent the night. So she put us all up. She was like in an apartment building. So she found, like, even if people were sleeping on the floor, it's better than sleeping in the vehicle. Because we had all, like, crammed in my van. So I have a 12-passenger van. So we had enough room. Because at that time, I didn't have my 5-year-old. But I did have my 8-year-old at that time. We found out I was pregnant with my 5-year-old. Wow, that's hard to think that my sister has been gone for 5 years. But I found